So I wanted to talk about learning about the brain. One of the challenges, if you want to learn about the brain, is the language that's used. Because the brain has been studied for a long, long time, some of the language is very, very old. So for example, neocortex. Now unless you're a classic scholar like Boris Johnson, you may not know that that is a combination of Greek and Latin. Neo means new in Greek, and cortex means bark in Latin. So neocortex literally means new bark, the top of the brain, which is assumed to be the more recent feature, looks like the bark of a tree, hence neocortex. And language isn't the only challenge. The brain is also structurally complex. In fact, it's been described as possibly the most complex structure in the universe. So this is when Paul Johns comes in. Now, Paul Johns is a neuropathologist, if I get my words out. He teaches at a London teaching hospital, and obviously he does neuropathology, looking at people's brains after they've died to see if there was a problem, as part of his role as well. And he is a real gifted teacher in this area, and what he does, he uses visualization techniques and repetitive techniques to help you to learn about the anatomy of the brain. So he does a course once a year in London all about brain anatomy. And I went on that course 2 weeks ago, and there was a couple of things that I wanted to share. In fact, there's 3 things that I wanted to share that stuck in my brain as I came away. So the first is the brains are like faces. We have 2 eyes, we have a nose, we have 2 ears, we have a mouth. You know, they're all roughly in the same places relative to one another, but every face obviously is different. And brains are the same. They have the same basic set of features, but every brain is different. The other thing that I took away was that there's a kind of a marker on the top of the neocortex for the part of the brain that controls the hand. Now, because the hand, is so dexterous, that part of the brain has grown and expanded to the point where it's kind of a banana shape. And it's identifiable by looking for what Paul Johns describes as the EastEnders logo, where the River Thames goes round the Isle of Dogs in an inverted omega. And that is a marker, that is the part of the brain that is responsible for our hand movement within the motor cortex. And we can bring these 2 ideas together. So if we take the idea that every face is different, for example, I've got a pretty big nose, okay? Now Einstein's hand control area was enormous compared to other people's. It really loops around, and you should be able to see it on the screen now. And we believe that is because he played the violin, so he had a particular dexterity in his left hand. The third thing that I took away, I didn't appreciate until the last day. So we did 3 days in the classroom, and then the 4th day we rolled up at the dissection room at King's College campus by London Bridge, Guy's, and we walked in there, and there was 38 metal tables laid out. Each one of them had a bucket on it. The bucket said whole brain, half brain, limbic section brain, and next to the bucket on another tray was a brain or brains, and we were invited to go in there, put our gloves on, put our white coats on, and inspect the brains, and that's what we did. And the thing that struck me, the third thing that struck me, was the arteries that feed the brain. Obviously we've got quite big arteries going up through our neck. Then you've got the circle of Willis, which helps to distribute the blood around the brain, but the actual arteries delivering blood to the brain are about as thick as a pencil lead. For some reason I thought they'd be thicker. So with that, look after your blood pressure, because these arteries are very important. And if you're interested in Paul Johns' course, there'll be details coming up on the screen. Thanks for listening.